Hello guys, I'm Sarah. Welcome into the channel. I'm a mindset mastery coach, attachment style specialist, and transformational hypnotherapist. And today I want to talk about a phrase that you've likely heard if you're going through a breakup with a dismissive avoidant or even a fearful avoidant, aka disorganized. Before you do that, have a look around, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. All of these things greatly help the channel organically grow. And if you would like to speak with me and have a 20-minute chat, I offer that. There's a link in the description box below for a 20-minute free call, and we can chat about how I work and how I might be able to help you on your journey to healing. So this is the phrase. Are you ready? Like, get ready, because I know you've heard it and it's infuriating. Just let go. Just let them go. Just move on. Just move forward. What's the problem? I'm being sarcastic because this is infuriating to somebody who is going through a painful breakup, who has been betrayed, who has been discarded, who has been blindsided, who literally has been left with no explanation. Those are the worst things you can say to somebody. This is like lack of empathy, okay? When somebody is hurting, what do they truly want? They don't want answers. They don't want you to try to fix things. What they want, especially a woman, is they want you to come sit by them and go, that really sucks. That really hurts. That is so valid to feel that way. You are so valid in feeling that way, and feeling betrayed, and feeling angry, and feeling sad, and feeling heartbroken. They don't want you to fix it. And when you say something like, let them go, you can do better, that's a fixing statement. This is not good. Don't do that. Don't do that to somebody who's mourning, who's grieving. Grief is a process. It's a process that needs to be worked through. That's like bypassing. That is a way, just let go. Love and light. That's bypassing the healing. And let me tell you something else. I am a former, I was way deep in the spiritual rabbit holes. I was in all of them. I have now come back up for air and realized I still have a relationship to God, and I still am spiritual, but much more grounded spirituality. That's what you're going to get from me. Grounded spirituality, grounded awareness. Why? Because it's dangerous to go down those holes too deep. And also, a lot of it is fabrications. A lot of it is just something like human construct, like a human created construct, like twin flames or something. We need to, in order to heal, we need to move through the pain, not bypass it. And a lot of those spiritual groups, they're bypassing. Love and light. No, light and shadows. Okay? That's where it's at. Obviously, bring some love into it, but everything isn't love and light. You don't always have the ability to forgive your perpetrator. Sometimes it's too much, it's too painful, and that is that person's right not to forgive that person. Guys, I worked in the narcissistic abuse recovery space for many years. That was actually my very first YouTube channel, Sarah Speaks. And I worked with hundreds of people. And I'm here to tell you that bypassing is the wrong way to go. And limiting statements like this, or statements that really do not do justice to the pain that person is feeling, don't help, okay? I want to empower you with wisdom, with understanding, with education. But I also want to validate that this is really fucking painful. Going through this breakup, going through this divorce. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm moving through a divorce with a dismissive avoidant. I was discarded from that marriage. He ejected and he was out, and that was it. I know what this feels like. And I'm getting emotional talking about it because it's like, damn, people in my life, I have some incredibly supportive people. And then I have people that are like, just get over it. Your attachment system is all woven in and connected to this individual. We can't just extrapolate ourselves from the pain and move forward and let it go. It's not serving you. Yeah, we know it's not serving us. But you have to go through the process. You have to go through the steps of grieving. And I'll tell you, I still cry. I still feel anger sometimes. This is a process. You know, I'm a couple steps ahead of you on the grieving process, but I've been in the thick of it. And if you felt deeply, if you're a deep feeler, you're going to, feel this pain deep. And this phrase, just let go, just let it go. Well, if it was that easy, wouldn't we all just let everything go? You know, and on the surface, it can look like the dismissive avoidant is just letting it go, but they're not. They're shoving it down. There's a difference between letting it go and shoving something down and suppressing something or repressing something. There's a difference. Or avoiding your emotions, avoiding the pain, avoiding the heartbreak, avoiding those tough conversations. And by the way, for my DAs watching, you know I love you. If you don't have those tough conversations with yourself and with the people you've hurt, you can't move forward. You got to hear them out. You need to let that person tell you how you hurt them and then take accountability. If you want to heal, that's the first step. Obviously, self-awareness, like realizing, wow, I'm dismissive avoidant, but also understand that's not who you are. That's just your attachment style, and it can be healed and fixed. And you can be brought back to secure or more secure, still maybe leaning avoidant, but more secure, being aware of your patterns, being aware of your cycles, being aware of the ways in which you sabotage. Because both avoidant and anxious, and obviously fearful avoidant, sabotage. They all the insecure attachment styles sabotage. They all have a saboteur. Humans all have saboteurs. But in particular, inside of relationships, you will see the saboteur rear its ugly head for the fearful avoidant, or AKA disorganized, dismissive avoidant, and anxious ambivalent. And so DAs do that. Like really, if you're watching my channel, you're healing, right? You're becoming self-aware. Offer those people the space to do that. I know it's going to be hard. That person needs that. That person deserves that, right? You're going to start feeling things. What happens, this is what happens, DAs, when you allow yourself, when you sort of open that portal to, to those conversations, you're going to start feeling things. The tears are going to come, the emotions are going to come, the rage might come, the guilt, the shame, all of that. Get it up and get it out. Because when you're suppressing it, that suppression of emotions leads to dis-ease in the body. 100%. Like, you think that skin rash or lupus or any autoimmune condition just decided to just appear? That you might have been coded for it. Your genes might have had the ability to create that autoimmune disease and sort of that firestorm within your body, but it wouldn't have been activated had you not been under tremendous stress, or maybe had you not suppressed how you felt, right? Your liver, right? What is liver? Anger. Lungs, grief, right? Like, think about this. Our bodies keep the score. There's scientific proof and evidence of this. This is not just like hocus pocus, airy-fairy stuff. The body keeps the score. And by the way, it's not just the hips that store trauma, it's the entire body, right? And often all my yogis out there like myself, we were sort of trained and, the hips keep the score. No, the whole body keeps the score. Don't blame it on the hips. And the way it presents itself will be different for everybody. For me, it's been my skin. I had cystic acne for 10 years. I've got eczema that I'm currently working through, doing some frequency healing. By the way, frequency is the medicine of the future, and hypnotherapy. And, it came out in chronic fatigue for me also, and suppressed immune system. So when you're suppressing your emotions, you're going to suppress your immune system. You're going to suppress everything. And when it does come up, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be scary. It's going to be a lot. But get it out. What are you waiting for? The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be, because you're going to hurt more people. You're going to have more amends to make. It's kind of like working the AA system, right? It's kind of like you have to, right? Isn't there a step where you have to make your amends, make your apologies? Yeah, DAs, it's healing work to do that, because your ex-partners, plural, or ex-partner, that will benefit them enormously. And I say this with the knowing and understanding that everybody is responsible for their own healing. Nobody's coming to save you. No. You have to create your own life raft, and you have to jump on it, and you have to, figure out the trajectory of your healing. You have to be in charge of that. But what I will say is that when you have someone offering, like, I'll hear you out, you can just add to their closure. You can help them. You can add to that closure box that they're trying to create. And do it without any intention. Do it without hoping for a specific outcome, right? Just let them vent, let them speak. And for all of my people who are moving through the grief and who have been told to let it go, I just want to say that I want to validate that I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that somebody told you to just get over it. Because literally your attachment system cannot just get over it. That's not how it works. The ruminating thoughts, you don't just think your way. First of all, thinking is what got you into the problem in the first place. You can't think your way out of that. You have to feel your way out of that. And again, the tools I use, hypnotherapy, attachment style training, attachment work, and also mastering your mind, mastering, your this, so that those ruminating thoughts erase, so that we have a true understanding. It's not really the person you're hanging on to. It is the attachment to that person. And that can be a tough truth to accept, because you're like, no, Sarah, I loved that person. I know that you loved that person. But right now, what's happening in the midst of this divorce or breakup or separation is the attachment. You were attached to that person. And in that attachment to that person, you're clinging. You're clinging to what was. It's a way also, by the way, when we're clinging to something from the past, it's a way for us to avoid facing ourselves and our own healing. So you're also avoiding just in your own way. When the focus is on somebody else. I see it all the time in my work, is the focus on the other person, not on self. And I'm here to tell you that is not sustainable. And what are they doing? Who are they with? Why did they do this? All of those things, valid questions. But long term, you get stuck in that loop, and then you don't move forward. And then you see them move forward, and then you're triggered. And but by the way, if they're unhealed, their moving forward is really just starting the cycle again. I did a video years ago, my first YouTube channel, Sarah Speaks, on narcissistic abuse recovery, and it got 40,000 views, or no, that one got 100,000 plus. And it was about why the narcissist marries the next person, right? And people were like, oh my God, why does this happen? Why didn't they marry me? Why didn't they commit to me? Why are they committed to this person? And I see the similar cycles where a lot of times you'll see your dismissive avoidant partner move on, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just supposed to let it go and move on. But you see them doing that. They're not really moving on. They haven't processed anything. They're literally just starting a new cycle. And that was in a condensed version, that's what the video was about. They're just repeating the same cycle. They will repeat that cycle until they actually do the work to basically peel away the layers of the onion. And the layers of the onion are deep, vast and complex and deep. They are complex individuals. I will say that my ex-husband is the most complex and complicated person I have ever met. I don't think I'll ever understand him or why he does what he does or why he did what he did. And you know what? I'm exhausted from trying. So I don't try anymore. I don't try. It doesn't really matter. They don't even understand their motivations or they don't even understand why they do what they do. So why are we trying to figure out why they do what they do? They don't even know. Give yourself the luxury of working your healing and doing it. And permission from me for anybody who's watching and anyone who's been told, let it go, just move on, and kind of shrugging off your pain, give them a piece of your mind. Let them know that that's not okay. Let them know that actually what I need from you is not to be dismissed like that. And I'm not trying to avoid my pain. What I'm trying to do is tell you I'm hurting. And if you don't have the capacity to hold space for that, that's okay. But let me know that. And you'll probably somebody will just stop in their tracks because they're not used to actually having to think about that. Their response is always just move on, let it go, or they're probably saying that, they've been saying that their entire life, and you're stopping them and asking them, just think about what you're saying, because that's really not helpful to somebody going through such immense heartbreak, someone who feels betrayed, somebody who feels blindsided, someone who feels discarded, somebody who is watching their ex potentially move on to the next person. And it looks like they're offering that new person everything you ever wanted. They're not, by the way, but it looks like that. And I know the pain of that. I have been there, I have sat there. It is so incredibly painful. And then you take it personally, especially if you're anxious, ambivalent, attached, you take it personally. I wasn't enough, right? It's sort of like it's interesting, right? Because anxious, ambivalent tend to feel like I'm too much. And then avoidants tend to feel like I'm not enough. But then when it comes to the breakup, the avoidance like, that was too much. Like that whole thing was too much. And the anxious ambivalent is like, oh my God, I'm not enough. So they move from feeling like too much to I'm not enough. I wasn't enough. So this is all very fascinating. There's so many layers to this work, and it is individual. And yet you can see, like, you can watch the dismissive avoidant literally turn their back on you. You can watch it. You can just, I bet you could go back in time to see, like, to pinpoint when they started pulling back, when they started basically ejecting themselves from the relationship, when they started basically like I'm done, I'm out. You probably could go back in time and figure that out. But what I want you to do is, first of all, I want to validate your pain with this video. I want you to understand that you're not alone. I want you to understand that I understand, that I empathize, not just I understand, I empathize, right? I have been there. And sometimes I still feel it. Sometimes I still feel anger. Sometimes I still feel betrayed. Sometimes I still feel confused. This is all so normal. We are human. This is an incredibly painful experience to go through. And for some of you, it's the first time you've ever experienced anything like this. So it's sort of this rude awakening that not everyone has your best interests, that there are some really unhealed people out there. That's hard to accept. Take care of you. Surround yourself with people who can really support you and uplift you and hold that space for you. And here's something that is a really good tool to use in all your relationships. Next time when you want to vent to somebody, or you're like, I just need to cry on someone's shoulder, just ask them, hey, do you have the capacity right now to hold space for my pain? Because I'm really going through it. I really need an ear. I really need someone to talk to. But if you don't have the capacity right now, just let me know. And you're giving that person permission to say yes, they do, or no, they don't right now. That's a really responsible thing to do. That's being emotionally responsible. And it's allowing that person to say no, because maybe they're overwhelmed and overloaded in their emotions in their life. Sending you guys so much love. Take care of yourselves, please. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.